All right, it's already, I think, 6 p.m. Um, Welcome everyone to another episode of Omchain Talks. Today we have an amazing project that is going to be joining to the Omchain ecosystem with us, and Melik Shah is the both co-founder and CEO of the project is going to be here with us today. I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. I have sent him the speaker invite. Melik Shah, if you can hear me, welcome. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty excited as well. We are building something interesting, and we're trying to keep it interesting as well. So yeah, happy to be here and waiting for you to give me some hard questions.
All right. I mean, there are no hard questions. The people who have been listening on chain talks for a while knows that I only ask things that I wonder. Today is not going to be any different. So the first thing that I am wondering is, what's question mark? I mean, we have been seeing question mark for a long time now. I guess it's a week, maybe 2 weeks. So what's the deal with the question mark? You gonna tell us about that, or shall we skip that question?
Well, yeah, I can tell you about it. So, I have been in the crypto industry for 3 years, and I had a Web3 software agency for 3 years as well. So, I have a secret that I can actually build any application you can imagine in blockchain. So, the question mark is more of a like it's also a question mark for us as well. I am here to actually listen to community and try to understand and assess their behavior to understand what kind of product that they would like us to build. But I'm not trying to do that by asking them what kind of product I should build, because they're not going to be analyzing what products they need all the time. That's the job of product designers. There's really a funny thing about cars in that regard. So the Ford, the founder of the Ford, the car brand, when people told him, how did you design these cars? Like, how did you come up with it? Did you ask people? And he said, if I were to ask people, they would told me to give them faster horses rather than a car. So what I'm trying to do here is trying to understand what community wants by observing how they behave, and the product is going to be designed from that insight coming from the observation and assessment we have done in the community.
Well, basically, I can kind of say that, when you ask questions to people, or when you ask, just like you said, what would you like to see that is being built? Usually the answers are limited to what they have previously seen or previously experienced. Whereas innovation is something different. Innovation is, you see a problem, you see that, people have tendencies to do some things, some certain, and then you try to solve that problem by, inventing something new. So it's really hard point. It's a really hard thing to understand exactly what the community wants without asking them. In my opinion, I'm going to be asking more about that to you later on. But again, just like you said, if you ask people what you should be doing, then probably you won't be able to do anything, because everyone have different opinions, everyone have, different tendencies, everyone have different likes and dislikes and so on. So I can understand, or from what I am understanding, we have been also talking, aside from this on-chain talks as well. LibraLabs is aiming to build something that is going to be beneficial to the end user, but users are going to be determining what is going to be built. But at the same time, this is going to be, happening in a very subtle way. So, from what I understand, you will just be collecting input from the users over time, and then build something that is, going to be useful for them. Am I right by saying that, or is it any different?
Well, yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry. Can you
Yeah.
hear me
All
now?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can hear you now.
Okay. So, yeah, we obviously have some ideas we would like to build, but what I'm trying to say is I don't want to be married to an idea which is not going to work with the users. And if users doesn't want it, it's useless. It doesn't work in uh, as I think about it, because you are building something for the free market, and if nobody uses it, free market doesn't want it, so it's not valuable. But obviously, I have some plan in my mind that I'm going to try to implement and try it with the community. And if the users start to adopt it, we're going to move on with what we have built. If they will not, we are just going to pivot to something else. Hence, a laboratory lab. So LibraLabs, it's Libra, which is the seventh zodiac sign, signifying fairness from the balanced scale. But laboratory labs stands for laboratory, so it's a laboratory. We are trying to come up with innovative solutions for people. Not every single one of them are going to work, but we are going to position ourselves as a laboratory. If one attempt doesn't work, we're going to try another. And since we have means to come up with and build other solutions as well, it's just a matter of time and the pursuit of success. We're going to be keep building on different type of products until some of them work.
Yeah, that's why I'm very excited with work with you guys, because Omchain, at Omchain we always told ourselves that we will be building products that are going to be utilized by people and that are going to be beneficial to people as well. If you look at the crypto space right now, there are a lot of meme tokens, different things. In the past, we had the NFT hype as well. A lot of different stuff that has no utility or no use case or no benefit to people. So it's really great for us that you guys are onboarding with us. You guys are building things on chain, and you're valuing the user feedback, and you're trying to deliver something that is meaningful as well as that is going to be useful for the end user as well. So I just wanted to say that I am really happy. Another thing that I was wondering, like, what about the points? I am like, I think if I am not mistaken, I am holding the number one position right now. There was no one who could beat me yet. I'm saying yet because no one knows what's going to happen next. So what about the points? Like, can you tell us more about what those points mean, or like, do they have any meaning? Do we, keep referring people, or what's the deal with the points? That's my question.
Yeah, so points, the points are in its current form is a way to incentivize people to use its current form. But retrospectively, though, so when in the future we're going to look back and retrospectively um, reward people who collected those points. And justification for that is those people are our first supporters who are actually we're curious about what we're going to build. So also, like, there is an hidden points as well that nobody knows about. For example, let's say you haven't collected a lot of points, but you were one of like top 10 first people who registered. Like, there was only a question mark and nothing else. No reference links has been announced, nothing were in the ground. And if you were like, so there is a visible points that you can see at the moment you can get only by referring people. And there is also hidden points that we have different parameters, such as what is the date of your register, like how close you have been registered to the website from the point that it has been launched. So there is also a hidden point system as well. And we are going to reward those people who have those both hidden points and unhidden points retrospectively when we yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, we have a, as I said, like, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, we have a hidden point system and an unhidden point system. There will be more parameters for unhidden point system as well upcoming this next week. And in the future, we are going to scale those and try to fairly reward people retrospectively when the time comes.
So from that, I understand that I should be collecting more points and I should be referring more people. Like, if any of the listeners here who haven't signed up to LibraApps' demo application, or even the panel, I could say, just go to their profile right now. You can tap on the LibraLabs. It's one of the listeners here. You can find the LibraLabs with the with their logo, kind of looking like the zodiac sign of Libra. and then all you have to do is like they have their link on their bio, LibraLabs.app, and then yeah, it now has joined the as a speaker, so you can tap on the link on their profile and then just join the wait list right now if you haven't done that, and you can refer to people to earn more points, more rewards. They're gonna be helping you in the future. That's the only thing that I can say. So one thing that you know I am always having problems with in the crypto space, people, how do I say, people try to find the newest innovations, not the innovations, but maybe let's say latest trends. So there were like, as I mentioned, there were like meme coins, there were like DeFi tools, NFT tools, and from what I am seeing right now, the AI is a huge thing. I mean, I can maybe confidently say that it's bigger than blockchain technology at all. So, will we be seeing any AI applications? Because once you mentioned that you will be gathering information from the users, I just wonder if you will be going to use AI to, understand that data better, or if you are going to be providing any AI to the end users. I mean, if you don't want to talk about that topic, we can skip that question. There are other things that I am also wondering. So feel free to answer if you wish. Feel free to not answer if you don't want to spoil things, if there are any things. So, Mike is yours.
Um, so I'm in the blockchain industry as my full-time job for the past 3 years, and I agree that AI is at least as important as blockchain technology, if not more important, right? But uh, so like AI, it's going to be a very competitive place. I don't have much experience there, but I have exposure to AI industry as well. I have a couple of projects going on this side. And what I want to do is, from the experience I have gathered for the past 6 months, where I have been working with AI, not connected much to my professional career so far when it comes to blockchain, but I have a lot of insight from those products and applications I have built on the side with AI. So in LibraLabs, I can actually give you this information where next week we're going to roll out a couple of bounties, and the week after that, we are going to launch an AI chatbot which is going to teach people how to trade. It's going to be a beta release, so like it will probably have bugs, but it is not going to cost anything for people to use. You can use it 724. You can experiment with it, and maybe we can start another bounty where you can submit the bugs that you have seen from that AI application and send it to our like official email address, and we look at those, and if you found a legitimate bug or your application was useful to us, we can reward you with more points. So the goal is to make here something useful, and I know that people would like to trade better and make more money, and if we can build something that would be at least 10% helpful to people to make better trades, and if we can build that as an early community, we can reap a lot of rewards. So of course there will be bugs at the start, and of course it is going to be free completely because it's not proven as well. There can be some intellectual property, some insight, and the products like semi-final form can amount to something that would actually like assisting us to make profitable trades. So that's the big upcoming first implementation LibraLabs is going to do, and the week after that we're going to roll out something related, something trading related as well. So the next week there will be a light roll, a light launch of a bounty program, and week after that we will like let's call it alpha, not beta. We're going to release alpha version of a trader, but I would like to make the distinction here. The both the robot that you're going to speak, it's not going to take trades for you. It's going to be a knowledgeable AI who will answer your trading related questions, and not questions like what should I buy. The questions like, can you tell me about the relation between volume and price actions. It will teach you the concepts and the fundamentals of trading for you to become a better trader. So you will be gathering the wisdom by asking, like imagine it as if a full-time tutor that doesn't cost you anything. So yeah, this is our first plan to launch. The alpha will be released not next month, Monday, after the Monday from next week, and then we'll see how it goes. And as I've said, it's going to be completely free to use, and we will closely listen to community's feedback to how we go about how to design the AI and where should it go.
Well, I am really excited that finally there's going to be a tool who is going to be teaching people, or at least guiding people, how to trade, and make them know more about the cryptocurrency trading. Because usually the tools that we see, they provide data. If you go to coin market cap right now, you can see all sorts of different data. You can see the token prices, you can see the volumes, you can see a lot of things, but it never tells you that how those things work. And then there are some guides, there are some sources that you can read from, but they're not personalized, they're not for you, they're not for any individual. They're just out there, some information. But it's really good that you're building something that is going to be customizable. What I mean by that is, I think more or less everyone right now is aware of the recent developments of the AI. Now you can talk, you can ask any question. If you don't understand anything, you can just say, hey, I didn't understand that part, could you please repeat again, or explain it in a different way so that I can understand. And then the AI just helps you to understand it better. If you have any more questions, it never gets tired, it never tells you to get off, it never tells you anything bad, it just helps you, because this is what they have been designed for. So I am really excited that there is going to be a tool that is going to be helping people with their cryptocurrency trading, because then we can have answers to questions that were asked by the people. And also another thing here, it's very important that you are also collecting that feedback, that data from the users, because at the end, if you ask me right now something about trading, I would say I would wonder how market makers work, because over the last few weeks we have been closely working with some market makers. We were trying to understand the basics of the market making, how to have a nice order book, how to have a nice depth, how to have a nice liquidity. But if it wasn't for my job, perhaps I would never never even hear about it, never even research about it. But now that I know more about market making, I understand that not everything I see, especially in the crypto market, is true, and there are some projects that I should be staying away from. So maybe those things, similar to those things, could be beneficial to the end user, could be beneficial to the people who would like to learn more about trading. That being said, more or less I understand LibraLabs is aiming to answer some questions related to crypto trading from the end users. So aside from that, I mean, I want to ask more personal question, like, how did you decide that you should be building this application? Or like, could you tell us more about your previous experience in the field? What were the things and problems that you have seen? And then what made you think that, okay, I should be building something, that is taking user input? Aside from me, I mean, imagine that I was not there.
Well, it's actually funny. So, I I wasn't a very good trader, and I actually did not respect trading at all. I was always this guy who is a crypto fundamentalist, who who is completely focused on building something useful, but useful in a way that I would like rather than people would like. So what I see from the market and the projects, um, it's the trading is always the first priority of the most people who are in crypto. Like 90% of the people in crypto care about trading. They don't care about a digital identity revolution with NFTs gonna come. They don't care about DeFi. that is like that is it is breaking down of the traditional governmental bank structure. So like they don't mostly care about, okay, this DeFi project has this story and it's going to be pumped this much. What kind of things that I need to learn to chase those pumps, right? So this is what 95% of the people care about. There is also like 5% of other 5%. Uh, they're also important, those fundamentalists, because they're the main people who are driving the technology, and then uh, traders are making those technologies popular, so bringing money in. So if there were no traders there, money would never come to crypto, and it would never be this popularized, and it would never be this big, and governments could maybe shut it down. But now it's too big to fail. You can't shut crypto down because now everybody knows about it, and trying to shut it down draws too much attention, and like governments would seem as extremely authoritarian. So back to the point, what I see now and what I have been seeing for the past 3 years, most people want to make money uh, in the quickest way possible. And the most legitimate way to make money quickest way possible is via trading. So if you will bring a product that helps people trade better, you are going to have a lot of influence, you are going to have a lot of users, and you are also going to be giving the market what it wants, right? So I stopped trying to build things that I want and switched to build what other people want, because in the end, I am trying to get users, and I have to listen what users want. So I kind of swayed from being extremely idealistic towards being reasonably practical.
Well, I think this is how can I say, one of the biggest problems of overthinkers. Maybe I can say that, because usually we're trying to build something meaningful, and then we're asking ourselves the question, what's the meaning of this, what's the meaning of that, and then we start asking, we end up asking ourselves, what's the meaning of life? So when things are, too distracted, when we are too distracted, we might actually be building something that is going to be very useful, like, us, but then it's actually not what the end user demands, or that's, not what is going to be useful for the end user. So it's always important to understand the motivation of the people, and the overall cryptocurrency market dynamics if you're going to be building a blockchain based project. I can share, one insight, one input from here. In 2016, I was like developing a project that was going to be providing blockchain infrastructure for local governments as well as authorities. And then at the time, no one knew about blockchain. At the time, no one cared about blockchain. No one even talked about blockchain. And I was like, this is a technology that can change things. So you should be maybe switching to that. Maybe you should be using it. I have spent a lot of time trying to tell people the advantages of blockchain, how they could be using it, how it's beneficial, and so on. But I didn't have any response. And then a few years passed, with the cryptocurrency prices going up, Bitcoin being like, 7,000, 8,000, $10,000, people started talking about blockchain. And then I realized one thing, you know, I have the capability of building something that has a meaning, something that is useful to people, something that is beneficial to maybe society or to the end user. But the most important thing here is that what the user thinks about the thing that I am building. For example, I might be building, some teleportation device, but if people think that it's dangerous, even though there are no dangers associated with it, then no one's gonna use it. Especially, it's actually the same thing with the 5G towers as well. When they first started, when the companies first started installing 5G towers, especially in Germany, I was seeing a lot of news that people were, taking those towers down because they thought that they were going to make people cancer, or they were spreading COVID. So it's like, at one side, I am just placing myself to the, chair of the engineer who was building those devices. And I'm like, the guy was building something that is beneficial to the society, but the society thinks that it's not beneficial. And it's the same thing again with the, scientists in the past who said that the earth was not flat, but instead it was round. So even though the earth was round, people were, almost hanging that person because, they all thought that the earth was flat. So I think the best thing here, or at least what we can do, is If people think that the earth is flat, not try to convince them that the earth is, round, the earth is globe, but maybe build something else, maybe build something that is not related to the earth, or maybe build something that is going to be utilizing that knowledge of earth is round, but that's not going to be, saying earth is round to people. So it's really important that you realize this while you are building LibraLabs, because at the end user just wants to use the application that they see that is going to be beneficial for them. So a lot for that input. I just wanted to add that thing over what you have said. Moving with that question, I also wonder, like, how do I say, what are the things that we could be seeing or we could be expecting LibraLabs building? Because you mentioned that you have the capabilities of building anything, but do you have any specific directions? Like we talked about cryptocurrency trading. Is it only going to be focused on cryptocurrency trading or educating people, or are there going to be any, different functionalities in the LibraLabs product? I mean, if you don't want to spoil things, if there are things, feel free to just say yes, there are different things as well, or just say no, we're just building that. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say there are many, many different other things, but I'm not gonna say what they are.
All right, thanks a lot. That was quick and fast. So aside from that, I want to ask another general question. This is not related to LibraLabs, but more maybe a personal question. Where do you see the crypto market heading right now? Because we have, a lot of economical problems in the world. US is just having high inflation rates. I mean, especially since that we are both from Turkey, we are also experiencing a lot of economical hardships right now. We're experiencing a lot of financial problems, economical problems nationwide. Do you think that it's going to make people adopt more to crypto? Because I've been hearing from some people that I know that they're preferring USDT instead of the cash USD right now because they can't access, or there is huge slippage. Where do you see the cryptocurrencies heading right now? Do you think that more and more people are going to be adopting, or it's just a Ponzi scheme and it's just people trying to sell things that have no value to anyone, but just just a bubble? What do you think?
Well, first of all, yeah, I think crypto is a superior, in its current form already. Crypto is the superior form of medium of exchange, especially after the stable coins. I haven't held real dollars, real dollars, for probably the past like 4 years. I make like if I want to put my money in dollars, I have them in a diversified stable coins, like some USD, some USDT, some USDC kind of thing, maybe some DAI too. So because I can port my dollars to anywhere at any time with very little transaction fees, as you have mentioned, with very, very less slip, not less, like completely zero slippage as well. Yeah, I don't want to buy dollars for 20 liras and only be able to sell them like for 19 liras. That's stupid. And that slippage is not a natural slippage. It's just old way of making business, right? So it's kind of stupid, and I think so. Like the crypto is the superior medium of exchange, and Bitcoin. I don't view Bitcoin as a medium of exchange. I think it's the new gold. It's a reserve currency. So I think Bitcoin's case is already proven. As you can see, these huge banks are going down one by one in the US. And well, this conversation is very deep. I'm just gonna say I am a perma bull when it comes to long term, but I always manage my risk. I sometimes sell crypto in swings, like 2 to 3 month swings. For example, I have sold a lot of my position at the mid year of 2022, but I am always a perma bull for Bitcoin, for example, because it's always going to be a reserve currency and it's going to be the futures reserve currency as well. So Bitcoin is going to go up forever in the long term, in my view. That's why I am in this industry for the past 3 years, and that's why I'm going to be here for decades to come.
Okay, so just a warning to the listeners right now. This is not a financial advice. It might go up, it might go down. These are just, Malik Shah's and perhaps my personal opinions. We don't advise anyone to buy any token. We don't advise anyone to buy any, financial asset, or trade those assets or sell those assets, or even interact with those assets. It's just an informative Twitter Spaces that we're having right now. So please do not make investments based on what we're talking about right now. If you are finished with that, I wanted to ask an additional question. So, like, when you're making those decisions, when you're thinking that the market is going to swing, or when you're thinking that Bitcoin is going to go down or go up, or other currencies are going to be fluctuating, so, like, how do you get the information? How do you have the sense that they're going to go up or they're going to go down? Like, what are the sources that you're following right now? Or is it based on your personal experiences and interactions with other people? Or, like, are you following certain news websites, or are you following any social media accounts? Like, what's the source of that information? And, like, how did you get to a point where you feel confident that with your decision, or where you feel confident with managing your risk on your own? Because a lot of people have been asking me the same thing over and over. They're like, do you know anyone who is going to be helping us with managing our crypto portfolio? Because they've been seeing a lot of cryptocurrency traders, especially on Twitter, who are only sharing the profits that they're making, but there are no losses. I'm not gonna give out a name right now, but there is one that I was following, and I have been specifically following that person for the last maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I am seeing that this person says that they have over 90% win rate, they have over 90% profitable trades, and then I actually checked out a few trades that they were making. All of them are fake. They're not real trades. They're like not real positions. They're just posting those positions later on with some fake stuff. But whatever. At the end, people are asking for a source to learn more about it, but they don't know that you know there is no way for people to make quick money, because if there was a way, most of the people would be doing it. Even right now, we wouldn't be, having this Omchain Talks. We would just be sitting at our houses. Even we would be automating the process. We would be like, okay, the indicators. If you see that, buy the token. If you see that, sell the token. We would be reach over a few weeks. We wouldn't be doing that. So there's no such thing. So that's why I'm asking you, like, what makes you feel confident in your decisions, and where do you get the recent information? How do you, measure the market? Let's say.
What I'd like to add, what you've said is like there are ways to make quick money, but they are extremely risky. So, for example, most people who invested in Pepe now burned. They lost a lot of money, and I have seen a lot of blood in the streets. And I have seen a lot of people who made money from Pepe with taking huge risks just to maybe double their money. And there are quick ways to make money, but it's not sustainable. You can do quick money for 2 times, maybe. When you try it for the third time, you're going to burn and you lose all of your money. And we have seen a lot of people who made a lot of money in the bull market, and then they have lost it all because they didn't know how they made it. And if you don't know how you made your money, you're not going to know how you're going to keep it. So, yeah, I just wanted to add that. And my way of trading is I have two principles. One is it's really hard to, by the way, it's really hard to get the correct information because noise to signal ratio in social media, for example, is very, where I said noise, right? Noise to signal. It's very, 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 very huge. So like there's too much noise and there's too little signal. Signal meaning useful information. It's very in low amount, and most is just as you said, fake stuff. And even people who have some reputation, they use some manipulative tactics to cover their losses and manipulate people's perception to make it seem like it was their followers' fault that they lost money rather than the investment advice that they have given to them. So that like they're what most influencers who are giving investment advice, their main job is perception management, not giving good trading tips. So I don't follow anyone. I don't follow anyone's advice, and I think you shouldn't get direct investment advice from anyone that you don't know very very closely who knows your particular situation, because everybody's situations require different types of trading strategies. That's why the reason I'm trying to build something that is going to empower people to take confident trades for themselves. So the strategy I follow is I am trying to educate myself with my own pace. I'm not rushing anything. I'm educating myself in my own pace. And I manage my bankroll according to the risk appetite that I could manage. So let's say I make this amount of money and I can confidently risk 20% of my wage or the money I make from my businesses on trading, but in a comfortable way. And let's say from that 20%, I can use 2% of that 20%, making actually 10% of my 10% of that 20%. I can use it on meme coins, and I'm not going to lose my sleep over it, right? So I determined my personal risk appetite, and I learned some stuff and create my own strategy. It's not really that hard, and try to take good trades and make it with a very long term um, inclined approach where that money compounds. Let's you start with $1,000, for example, but over time it goes up exponentially. You don't have to hit and run. If you consistently improve yourself and your strategy with the compatible risk appetite and strategy you should have, over 2 years, you can actually make enough money that would be really um, sufficient for what you were looking for. But it would be deterministic. You wouldn't rely on luck. You will just wait and be patient and be uh, knowledgeable on the steps that you take, and it would be deterministic. That is the key thing. Deterministic meaning you would definitely make it, but it will take time. You can take other strategies, but you can either win or lose, and it would be completely luck based. And if you will lose, you can't even maybe come back from it, which I don't like. I like to be deterministically successful.
Okay, it was a little bit trick question. The reason why I asked that, now that you have spent maybe over 3 years in the cryptocurrency field, and you have been researching about crypto trading and so on, and maybe you were exposed. I mean, you understand the basics, you understand the risks, you understand the rewards associated with those risks, and depending on your personal preferences, you are making a choice. But I think the most fundamental problem in the crypto space is that when someone for the first time learns about cryptocurrencies, it's not because that someone lost a lot of money and then they heard about it. It's not because it's the best technology out there and then they heard about it. It's simply because they had a friend, they had a relative, they had some workmate who was trading with cryptocurrencies, or who was just buying, holding, selling, whatever they were doing with cryptocurrencies, and they got rich or they made a lot of money. So if it's your first time and your first exposure is that someone is making a lot of money, most of the people are being suspicious about it. Most of the people, even I have some friends who have nothing to do with cryptocurrencies, and I'm asking them, like, do you own any Bitcoin, do you own any cryptocurrencies? And they're like, nah, I don't know, I don't own any, I have never even traded, because I think that it's risky, I think that it's scammy, I think that it's fake, I think that it's blah 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 whatsoever, because their first exposure was that someone who got rich. And if you were talking about different scams or like different pyramid schemes and so on, you would also have the same reaction. You would, like, if right now I was hearing that someone was investing in something and they were like making x 20x 100x, of course I would also be saying, like, that's a scam, just stay away, because I know that you can't make that much money from one particular thing or one particular area. So with that being said, when people have that kind of first interaction, the ones who actually choose to trade or purchase cryptocurrencies, they have high hopes and dreams. They think that they can also make that much money, and then once they try to learn more about what it is, they don't get to have any information. If you go to Twitter right now or any other website right now, let me just Google it: how to invest in crypto. You might be hearing my keyboard right now. So, like, the first website that comes up, it says, if it opens, It says what is cryptocurrency, gives a definition, and then types of cryptocurrencies. And then there are things that, how do I say, should be taken as considerations before investing in cryptocurrencies. But then again, it just says that you should be investing in cryptocurrency and how you can do that without telling people the fundamentals about the cryptocurrencies, or fundamentals about the finance, and so on. So once that happens, once people invest their money into cryptocurrencies and they don't get the results, expected returns, they start asking questions like, "Am I being scammed? Is it a fake project? Is it a bad project? Or is it a bad technology?" That deeply affects me. That deeply affects, I believe, you, and that deeply affects anyone who's building a sustainable product and so on. So I think the most important thing, in my mind, the positioning market for the LibraLabs is that it's gonna be filling some gap. It's gonna be teaching people about the fundamentals of the cryptocurrencies. It's gonna be providing a safe space to people to make guesses. I'm not gonna go into too much detail and spoil anything, but it's gonna give a chance to people to experience what would it be like to be trading cryptocurrencies without actually trading cryptocurrencies. And it is going to be collecting input from the users, try to tweak the app in a way that is going to be most useful to the end users. So in that sense, I think that it's going to be helping, especially to the new users. It's going to be helping especially to the beginners, and it's going to be helping especially to the people who would like to learn more about the fundamentals of the crypto trading. I mean, because if there are no tools like that, there are going to be fools like that getting fooled by the crypto influencers. Because I can't say that it's not tempting, because I am seeing that some guy has been posting a lot of stuff and just posted I think a few days ago and said that last month he made 50x. And I am like, you can't be doing 50x. If you were doing 50x, you wouldn't be sending things on your Telegram channel. But sadly, that's the reality, and sadly, that's one of the issues that we should be solving. And with that being said, I think once the liberal labs start solving some of those problems that I've been talking too long for, people will actually realize that it's something different. It's something that is useful for them, and I think that's when we're going to have the adoption for the liberal labs.
Well, now, yeah, now you said it. Maybe we can create maybe we can create a page in LibraLabs application exposing those people who are claiming that they're making 50x easily, and how they're fooling people, and how actually they are managing people's perceptions, to actually wake up people to not be a victim of those people, because those people who are kind of scamming the people out of their money, they're actually taking money out of the market that could be invested somewhere useful. They're actually taking away money from people who are going to build useful products. So, so yeah, that's actually why I'm getting into building a trading related product, because the community around that product is first going to keep those people away from trading mistakes, and then in the future it will evolve into help them actually take profitable trades. And yeah, so because this is the demand at the moment, and right now we can do what you can do is to fulfill the current demand, and in the future I am still confident that the DeFi, the NFTs use cases are going to be adopted as well, but their demand uh, is not ripe enough to be realized by the market. So yeah, so focusing in the current moment and the necessities of the current moment is my current strategy, and I know a lot about how to actually inform people to become better traders, and become people who are not losing money to those people who scam them. Because yeah, so yeah, I don't want to go into a too much tangent, but it's a shame that how those influencers who manage perception get away over and over again by scamming their followers. And the only way for people to actually understand how being getting scammed is to show them how actually trading works. It's like I clicked on a button because I am a genius and I made 50x. That you can also click to a bottom you can also click to a button and lose 50x if it were to be that easy. So yeah, I'm trying to unveil the other side of things by teaching people, giving them insights, and not be fooled, and ideally become good traders, sufficient themselves in their own knowledge.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most important things, because it's I'm always saying, if you want to make 50x, just go to casino. I mean, you have more chance to be making 50x rather than wasting your time with trading cryptocurrencies. So anyway, it's already like 50 minutes before we end this space. I would like to ask, are there any other things that you would like, anything that we have talked about? Because I am excited that Liberal Labs is going to be joining to the Omchain ecosystem, because at the end is the chain, just like I mentioned when I was first when I was beginning to my speech. We care about delivering a value to the end user, and that's why we're right now focused on delivering a decentralized blockchain ID protocol. We're running it right now. It's actually fully inted right now, but haven't launched. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into too much details here on this space, but we care about the innovation, and we care about the benefit to the end user. So one last thing that I actually wonder before we close off. I mean, usually projects have hard time sustaining themselves, and especially you mentioned about an AI bot that is going to be free for people. So at least, if you don't want to specifically mention those things, but like, at least I was wondering, are there any ways that Liberal Labs is going to be making money, or how is it going to be sustaining itself? That's actually what I am wondering right now.
Well, I can comfortably say we have enough funds until we would look for any other funds to sustain the application. Since we already know how to build those, we have a huge database of the projects that we have built on the past. We're just like, we have a bunch of different projects. We have the rights to have their IP, so like we can use those codes in the agreements we have had until. So let me put it like this: until I am confident that I have created a useful product for people, I don't need any funds for me to create a product that people would like to pay money for. And even then, as the cryptocurrencies nature go, it is never a direct money exchange. Maybe we can do an ICO. Through that ICO, actually IDO, not ICO, initial dex offering, and through that IDO we can give people some extra perks, maybe an advanced form of AI, maybe like AI version 1. AI is smart like 5 out of 10, but if you like to have an AI that is like 9 out of 10, like a genius level AI who can teach you trade, you need to pay in form of like Libra tokens or something. So there are like thousands and thousands and thousands ways of monetizing a blockchain based application, really, especially if you are building something useful. So our first goal is to get some users who are actually using it, and we're not considering monetization at the moment. It's just having users is our first goal. We have funds to sustain it at the moment. And even if we would look for funds, it would only be because uh, the next version of the application would require those funds to build. Right now, it just requires knowledge. But in the future, to scale the product, to process more process to purchase more processing power to build even more smarter AI, we would require hard assets like CPU power. So for that, we would require funds. And we will try to make an IDO, ICO, maybe an NFT launch. But other than that, to have a working product and improving that product, we don't not only we are not looking for funds, we don't need funds, but if we would, as I said before, if we would require some hard assets like CPU power, servers, maybe some advertisement to bring more eyes to the great project that we have built. Only then we will explore those potentialities. But until then, I'm just laser focused on building something useful, and we are not going to require any funds until we do.
All right, awesome. I got my answer. Hope the other listeners as well got their answers. Because, that's one of the problems with the cryptocurrency projects. Usually they're building something that is, not generating any revenue. And then, after a few months, the project, especially if there's a token, the token tanks, and then a lot of problems, start happening. So I'm really glad that, you guys thought about it. There are ways that you can make money, and there are ways that you can be beneficial to the end user. So that's the end of my questions. Yeah, if there are any last things that you would like to add, feel free to add. I was really happy to have you here today because usually what we do is we have a lot of different projects from different ecosystems, from different protocols, and so on. But today it was very exciting for us that I think it's for the first time that we're having a project from the Omchain ecosystem being a guest on Omchain Talks. So thanks a lot for joining us, and also to the listeners here, if you're not following LibraLabs right now, just go and tap to their profile and give them a follow and go to their bio. And then there's a link. Just tap on it and then, join the waitlist. So, any last words? Anything you want to add?
Well, thanks a lot. I'm just excited that we are accepted by the Omchin community, and we will be building more functionalities. We're gonna closely listen to what community wants. Please give us those feedbacks because, as I said, we're building this application for you. It's just we're really excited as well. Let's go.
All right, awesome. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining, and thanks Melik Shah for joining us today. Um, I hope everyone had a great evening, and I hope everyone had fun. Everyone learned more about the Liberal Labs. So until we have another Home Chain Talks, see you, folks.
Goodbye. Take care, guys.